It's Scarlet Pete's Frugal Feasts. Let's make soup. Hi everybody, welcome. It's Scarlet Pete's Self-Sufficiency and welcome to my channel. Today I'm starting a brand new series called the Frugal Feast. Inspired by my kraut making earlier, I realised I had some stuff that was just too good to throw away. Check out the video on how to make sauerkraut. For now it's back to the Frugal Feast. We've got the centre of the cabbage left over. Well, there's good flavour in that. And I'm going to make a soup. I bought a carrot in the market the other day off an old lady selling homegrown vegetables, 10p. I bought a potato for 20p. I had some onions. They wouldn't have cost much. And I think I paid 50p for a garlic. Yes, I did pay £4 for a whole bent sausage, but I think a little bit, maybe this much in my soup, will make the soup taste good. I got some out-of-date foodstuffs at a place called Rogers Wholesale the other month, and in it, for £1, I had a big carrier bag full of organic items, and in it was this coconut whipping cream. Well, I'm not going to make a pudding, but I reckon I could make a creamy soup with that. I also got this that was in the same pound bag, as well as many other things. This is some herb spices. I had some mushroom pate in that bag. Some anchovy paste. It tastes really salty and strong, but I think a little bit of it might be good. I've got a few store cupboard items there. Soy sauce, but that's salty, so we may not need it. Salt and pepper. Some leftover herbal garlic and whatever spread. I'm going to see where I can squeeze any of that out. I bought some chilli puree. That was about 60p for a tube of it. So I'm going to create an amazing soup. First of all, we need to go get some water. So I'm going to go get some snow from outside. There's plenty of that around. So I'm going to harvest some nice clean snow here. Make sure I'm just taking the top clean layers. And let's go boil that up. Let's turn the gas up. We won't get as much as you think from that, but we'll get a bit. I'm going to use a whole onion, but I'm going to carefully open this plastic because I'm going to use this as a pan scourer and a washing up thing. I'll show you that. Fold it up. That makes a perfect astringent scrubby for washing up. Back to peeling onions and peeling potatoes. Look at that, the snow's all melted away. We've got enough water there to boil in our soup. There's a little bit of snow left in the bottom. Water's boiling up nicely. I've got my vegetables peeled. Now, I'm not telling you to go shopping to go get what I've got. What I'm saying is, go look in your cupboards. Let's see what you can make with it. I've got a few store cupboard items, yes, but I could still make a nice soup out of some onions and water only, or onions and garlic, or onions and potato. But because I've got these cabbage, that's going in there. Because I've got some meat, that's going in there. But you don't have to do that. And I've also got, and I'm going to test out today, my little chopper. It's a hand-powered chopper. Let's see how that goes to chop the onions up. Put my onion bits in there. I'm just going to place the lid on. I got this in a charity shop for £2, £1, something like that. Brilliant little thing. It's got here a pull. So I'm going to pull that a few times. That's it. Let's see if it's done its magic. Oh my goodness. That is brilliant. Let's put a bit more in. I'm just going to cut it into quarter just to fit it in. There we go. Put the lid back on. Lid on. Open the lid. And there's the magic. It's all done. Here we have some lard. It's not home rendered this time. It's shop bought. And I'm going to put that in the pan. What do you think of my cute little pan? Tiny little frying pan bought from a charity shop for about £1. It's a copper based one too, so it's a nice one. I don't use non-stick pans. I use either stainless steel or cast iron, and that's all to do with my becoming med-free from my thyroid issues. But that's not for today's video. If you want to know about that, 25 years of being a a thyroid person with bad thyroid. I've now completely cured it. But if you want to know about that, comment below. Back to this cooking. Let's get those onions in. Fry the onions off. Part of my being frugal is making sure I'm not wasting any food in the utensils. I've scraped it out as best as I can, and now I'm going to go get some water in that, put it back together and shake it up clean, and that will go into the onions shortly. So that's cleaner now, and I've not lost any of the flavours. Easier to wash that up, and that water's going to go into the soup shortly. So I'll just rinse that out and keep the flavours, or save the flavours. And it's all washed up clean, just needs a rinse again in hot water later. I realised my saucepan and my pan that I was going to use is going to not be big enough, and I might as well make 3 days worth of food here, so I've moved it into my pressure cooker that I was given. Onions are finished cooking off nicely. Let me show you the other ingredients I've used. I've got a little squirt of chilli because I like it and it's good for me. The dregs of the garlic and herbs pate that I have. There's some mushroom pate there. There's some anchovy paste there. And I used an inch worth, tiny little bit of sausage. That's dry cured sausage, Spanish sausage, chorizo or something like that. I've got this can of whipped coconut cream. I'm going to use that. You could use water, you could use milk, you could use yogurt, you could use cream, whatever you've got left in the cupboard. Just cut everything up into small slices. Those are my bits of pâtés, etc. I've got the cabbage. I've got very thin sliced potato so that it cooks very quickly. I've got a very small amount of sausage, 4 pieces of garlic, and I've cut the yellow carrot up into small pieces too. Small pieces because it's going to go in my pressure cooker and I want it to cook quickly. A bit cold, that whipping cream. Slide in all the vegetables. Put in the mushroom pate. Mushroom pate's in. I've seasoned with some pepper and some salt to my taste, and I might use a little bit of soy sauce. Don't have to. And I'm probably going to put a sprinkle of these herbs I've got, because herbs are good for you, honest. This will be today's frugal feast. I'm now going to put it on the top to warm up, and I'm going to add some more water that we got from the snow. I did put soy sauce in. Turn the gas up full, stir it all in, and let's get the lid on this pressure cooker and let's get it up to steam. All tidied up. I've saved the can because I'm going to make some furniture polish on one of my videos shortly, and that just looks a lovely little tin with a lid to use for making that. I've saved my scrubby, as I said. I made that. I've got sausage left for another few days worth of cooking, and that's nearly ready to put the lid on. I'll get this up to pressure. When there's tons of pressure coming out, you close the vent down, and then I'll leave it cook for about 5-10 minutes on the gas, and then I'm going to put it into my hay box to continue cooking. If you're cooking this at home on a pressure cooker on the side, 10 minutes it may well be done, 20 minutes it'd be definitely done, but I would suggest probably 10 minutes. But I want to get it really good and put it in my hay box and cook it for a few hours slowly, getting it all tender and juicy and lovely. That would work really well if you've got meat in there as well. If you want to know all about hay box cooking, DIY modern hay box cooking, you've probably got the stuff at home ready to make it now. Give me a comment below and I'll show you exactly how to do that. We're up to pressure, so I'm going to close down, and I'm also going to turn down the gas. And then I'm going to cook that for 5 or 10 minutes before I put it in my hay box. We're up to pressure. It's finished its cooking time on the hob. If I was to release this pressure, it would be a waste of the heat in there. So if you've cooked this after your 10, 15, however long minutes you put it on to cook, leave it till this little button here pops up if you're using a pressure cooker, and then the pressure is all slowly gone and it's cooking in its own heat. If you take the weight off now and release it, you're just wasting all that free energy. It can still cook in there. It's still bubbling frantically away because it's up to pressure. We're not going to waste that heat. Right, we finished cooking this in the hay box. It's now got very little pressure left in it. As soon as that little red dot drops, we can open See, it's locked at the moment, but when the pressure release valve drops, you'll be able to open it and see how it's cooked inside. Probably still bubbling in here. Wow, look at that. It smells amazing. I've just tasted it. It needs a little bit of salt, and then I'm going to whiz it up in the food processor and make it into a creamy, lovely, delightful soup. And there we have a delicious frugal feast of the day that really hasn't cost very much money at all, and that'll last me about 3 days of soups, if not longer. If I had a freezer, I'd be freezing some of it and then it would last for longer. It tastes delicious. It's got a definite coconut hint because of the coconut cream, but who'd have known that it was made out of pennies worth of ingredients, because it tastes so delicious. So thanks ever so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, share and give me a comment so I know you're there. And if you'd like to hear more about frugal feasting, comment below and I'll get up to doing some more frugal feast. Bye bye, lots of love.